Welcome to the channel, Payne the Patoot here with a quick Tarkov video. This is basically going to be a video about day one of the new patch 16 of Tarkov. So if you're new to the game or haven't been around that long, when Battle State Games adds a new something significant to the game, what they do is they reset your count back to 0, so you lose all your progress, all your weapons, all the tasks you've completed. It's back to day one of the game. So nothing you can do about it. That's just what they do. They want everybody to test the new additions to the game, or new maps if that's what they're doing. And they do that by forcing you to start over. It's not actually that bad. It puts you back to day one, and you just have to go through tasks, etc., as you've been doing, or if you've maybe watched some people do. Um, you don't actually have to do anything. The game will simply do everything for you. What you'll notice when you fire up the launcher is, one, it'll take multiple attempts. This is based on past history for wipes. It'll take multiple attempts to launch the launcher. It'll fail over and over again because so many people will be trying to launch the game at one time that the servers can't handle it. So to get to this point where you see the game launcher, it may take you a number of times. Um, in the past, Battle State will say, okay, we're going to make the changes starting at, say, 9 p.m. or 9 a.m. Eastern Time, and it'll take 3 hours. Whatever they tell you, it's going to be more. I've never seen them yet be able to install a patch in the time frame that they have said. I've seen some stuff where some people have said it's going to take them 8 hours to get everything done. Um, it'll take more. Maybe that now they're expanding it to give themselves that extra runway. Instead of going 2 to 3 hours, they're pumping it up to 8. But they've always taken much more time than they actually have said. And what you'll find is everybody will be so excited to play this new patch that it'll be hard to get into the game. It'll be hard to get the download to do the upgrade. This launcher, like I said, it'll be hard to even get this launcher to launch. It'll keep trying to connect to the servers and it'll fail. So be patient. Even if they give you time, almost if tomorrow is supposed to be the first day of the new game, maybe leave it until 6 p.m. at night or at night before you even look at it, because there's going to be a lot of sitting around twiddling your thumbs waiting for something to happen. But once you see right now that we're running 0.15.5, when you fire up this launcher, if you get it to connect, this button here, instead of saying play, will say update, and it'll be 0.16.something.something.something. You click it, and the system will start downloading. You'll see the progress bar, and I'll try to install the game. It may fail a few times. Again, it's based on server load. Sometimes it has trouble doing this. I've seen it before. But ultimately, then it will finish the install. This game version will be updated to 0.16, and the play button, when it eventually plays, you just click it as normal, and it will launch the game. At that point, you'll have to go through the process of putting in your account name, like whatever you're going to call your character, and picking a side, which is either USEC or Bear. I always pick USEC because I like the USEC uses UN-based guns and armor and stuff, so the M4, MP5, etc. Whereas Bear uses AKs and a Keter submachine gun, etc. There's another advantage to the USEC is on the Lighthouse map. You're treated slightly better in if you're USEC, in that the rogues don't attack you immediately. So there's that side benefit for taking USEC. Then there's a few other things, but nothing major. The one thing I like is that when you hit the canned phrases that your character will say, it says them in English if you're USEC, it'll say them in Russian if you're Bear. So you typically find most people in North America will use USEC. Most people in Europe might take Bear or USEC. That can make it tough to get bear dog tags off kills, but that's what happens. So the other thing to do is apparently there may be a gift, a Christmas gift from Battle State, which is they give you a few extra items of equipment. So to get that, you come to the Escape from Tarkov page, you log in, and then there'll be in these headings, there'll be in maybe news or something, there'll be gifts or something like that. It'll say, and if you go down and click on it, then the gift will appear in your character. So back to the game here. So again, when the wipe occurs, then I'm going to lose all this lovely stuff that I have accumulated here. It's all going to be gone, all of it gone. So I have to start again. But that's what happens. So I really only have a couple hours left to use this stuff before it's going to disappear. But once you come in, you'll have a small subset of equipment here. It's some Beretta 9mm pistols, some MP5s, and some M4s with low-end M4 ammunition. So you just equip and start doing the raids. So once you've established your character type, I think you got to do the appearance and the voice, and there's a bunch of just early setup of your characters. Then you can start doing missions. So or tasks. One of the things you'll see is if you see a character with a green check mark, that means that there is a task here that you can do, and you'll want to accept the first couple of tasks. So previously, I can't speak to what the new wipe will hold because we haven't seen it yet, but previously there's a task that you get from this guy, Prepor, which is called Debut, which is eliminate 5 scavs on any of the maps and hand over 2 of the MP133 shotguns. The MP133 shotguns, you can pick them up in raids off scavs you kill. If you do a scav raid, you may end up being given a 133, and if that happens, I just immediately extract. And then the other task that you get is I can't remember what it's called, but basically it's to find the Soloas, and I'm not sure which one that is. Is that here? No. But it's there it is. So this is the first one you get from Therapist Shortage. Find Soloa kits in raid. So you just have to play the game, and eventually you'll find them. That's what I find. You can concentrate on some of the medical areas. So on Woods, there's a medical camp that has a lot of medical equipment. You find lots of meds there. On Shoreline, in the admin building on the first floor of the 2 wings, is a medical area. You can find it there. On Interchange, there's an area with locked doors, but outside there is a bunch of medical equipment. You can find the Soloas there, or just find them spread throughout the game. Mechanic, once you get your character from level 1 to level 2, often offers up one task called Introduction, and this one's a little bit difficult. You have to go to the Woods map near the crashed airplane. You get half completed for finding the little tree fort, and then underneath the tree fort's a message. You have to get it, bring it back, and it unlocks Jaeger. And one of the things that Jaeger does or offers you in his level 1 trading, so I've pushed him down to level 1. This is somewhat what you see level 1, but there is some additions to it. Anyways, you can buy the MP133 shotguns. You can buy 2 of them and just hand them back to him. Problem is, first day of wipe, he says a lot here, a quantity. people buy these a lot quickly, so they always are selling out. So you go and there won't be any available. Now they've tried to fix that with um, allowing a certain amount to each person, so you should be able to complete it. But that's it. Anyways, if you see the green check mark on any of the um, characters, then of course go there and just accept immediately their tasks and start working on them. So all you have to do is click the task, it tells you what it wants, and then say accept. And then it'll tell you what it's going to give you. Um, so there's that, and that's how you start off the game. So then you got to build your equipment and then decide what you're going to do. One of the things I do with the USEC, you get, I'll just show you here quickly, MP5. So you get a MP5 submachine gun, this one, and what you get with it is a bunch of 5 round magazines. So I immediately sell those, empty them from bullets, and sell those magazines and buy 30 round mags, because level 1 Peacekeeper does have, like, these are the, which are the ones? I don't know. There's little short ones that only have like 10 rounds or 5 rounds. The 30s are available immediately, so I just sell all the 10 round magazines and buy 30 round magazines, and that makes the MP5 a lot more effective for playing in the game. The other thing is, you can see there's actually no 9mm ammunition that you can buy for this gun, so that makes it rather tough for you to start off. I don't know if anybody's got 9mm. Yes, so you have to go to mechanic and buy green tracers for the MP5, but that's the gun that I start off playing with, even though I have an M4. It's got a high rate of fire, and these GT tracers are not bad bullet wise. So if you right click and go here to inspect, you'll see that penetration is 14 and damage is 58. Early on in the game, that's not too bad, but typically you want bullets that are higher the penetration, the better. So it shows you here, chance of going through level 1 armor is very high, level 2 armor low, and then as it goes up 3, 4, 5, 6, very, very low. Thing is, early on in the game, nobody's going to have anything 3 or above. You might find somebody lucky enough that has some 3, but most of it's going to be 1 and 2 level armor. So this stuff is fine with it. Plus, most of the helmets early on in the game are only level 1 or 2. So the helmets that you get early on, something like this, is well, it's armor 3, so it's a low chance, and this is armor 3 as well. But if you shoot somebody directly in the face, then the 9mm works fine for that. So, as I said, I get the task started, and then I get going into the game. When I'm in the game, I start collecting. So what do you collect? I collect any kind of ammunition, because early on in the game, all the ammunition you get is garbage, or of poor quality, or poor penetration. So this is like a high end right here. Notice its penetration is 53 and 42 damage. So this thing is the only thing that it has a hard time penetrating is level 6, which you rarely, if ever, see level 6 armor in the game. It's too expensive and people don't run it. But this M995 is very effective ammunition. Well, you can't buy it or craft it or anything in the game until you hit level 15 and you have access to the flea market. And I don't even think you can buy it off the flea market. You just have to pick it up during the game. So each and every one of the ammunitions will come in, let's see if I have an example. Yeah, little boxes. So you'll see these little boxes spread throughout the map. Every time you see a little box, I always pick it up and try to take it out of the raid with me because, like I said, ammunition is the key to early success in this game. The better, yeah, armor is good. It's good to have good armor, but you can defeat any armor in the game with the right ammunition. And because you can't buy ammunition from traders early on that's of any good quality, like this guy might be the best to start off with. Ignore those boxes, they won't be here, but even for the M4, this stuff is actually pretty shitty. It's only got 11 pen, so it's only effective against level 1 armor. But that's the best M4 armor ammunition you can get right away. So if you really want to have success with your um, M4, you need to pick up the ammunition as soon as possible. What you can find in the game later on, why is this? You can find M855, and so for some reason it's not showing me that. Okay. But that's the ammunition that you want to get. You'll get a quantity of M855 to start the game. You'll run through it pretty quick. So what I do in that case is I mix the bullets in my magazines. So if we go back to here and this, whatever that low end ammunition, okay, back here, this low end ammunition, um, what you can do with a stack of ammunition is you can split it. So for example, here I have 60 rounds of this. If I hold the control key and click on it and then drag it to a free space, comes up with this bar. So I can cut it down to, let's say I'm going to use the MP5 or M4 comes with 30 round mags. I would take this down to like 15, do this, and it'll create a stack of 15. And then if I'm going to unload, so I'd put 15 rounds of the low end stuff there, and then again, click or control, drag, and then 15 rounds of the high end ammunition like that. And that's how you can extend the amount of ammunition you have if you manage to find better stuff. Um, that's that's kind of it. So early on, Peacekeeper, you should know that to increase the level of your trading access, you have to spend money by either buying or selling to or buying from the traders. So I start right away by trying to sell stuff to them immediately. So here's the shorter round mag that you get at the start of the game for the MP5. I sell all these and buy a bunch of these. And you can see there's no 9mm ammunition for this trader, so I jump over here and buy a bunch of, again, go down to level 1. I buy a bunch of this green tracer ammunition. Maybe for the M4, again, back down to level 1, I'll buy a bunch of this ammunition. I'll get a bunch of M855, which is okay to start the game, but I'll do that trick of splitting the mag. So I'll pack the low end of the magazine with low end ammunition, and the top of the magazine with the M855, the higher end ammunition. And what that is with armor, every time you shoot the armor, you damage it and it loses some of its health, in quotation marks, health. So eventually, if you shoot, even with shitty ammunition, you shoot armor enough, you can like drain its health down to 0. So then it's less effective at stopping stuff. When it hits 0, any bullet can actually penetrate it. So at that point, you want high damage bullets. So that's why I put the high penetration bullets at the top, because even when they penetrate the armor, they damage it heavily, so that eventually you can get to the point where the high damage, low pen armor or ammunition will get through the armor and do damage. You can also shoot characters in the legs, which is a leg meta, which is a good thing. And you can also early on target the head and try to shoot people in the head. It's a little tough to do, but that's kind of what you need to do. So basically, after sort of getting my loadout ready to go, what I typically do is start off by, and this is the wiki, it's a very good tool, Interchange. So you have to pick a map. Now, there's Ground Zero is a map that you need to do because all the first few tasks pretty much are on Ground Zero. So let's go there. And you'll end up going to Ground Zero, which means it'll be, that map will have all kinds of players on it because all the tasks are there. So here's an example of the map itself. And I can hide everything. So that shows you the area, and then if you put stuff like extractions, it'll show you where you have to extract. And you can see the spawns and bosses occur. So you just go start doing the tasks. That's all you can do. There's nothing else you can do about it. Now it does, if you put on the quest related, it will show you various quests. Like this is a machine gun you have to find sometime in the game. And this is that's a mine. So there's a bunch of different things you have to do. So you have to find the machine gun, and then over here, that's the wine bottle. You have to find the machine gun, and then you have to find a grenade launcher in another building. So it shows you, but these maps are helpful to start off. Anyways, you'll go in the first 3 or 4 tasks you have to complete are all on this map. That means this map is going to be very heavily used. Sorry, but that's kind of the way it is. So at least if you get through that, get through the Ground Zero tasks, then you can move on, and then you can pick whatever your map is. And I like Interchange. I know some people don't like it, but because it's a fairly square map, to be honest with you, that's why I like it so much. Okay, let's go here, and then I'm going to hide everything. So you can see the map is more or less square. So this is the Emercom exit here. This is the railway exit here. And it's relatively easy to get to an extraction because it's in this corner and that corner. And it's all, those two are always one of your extracts. So depending if you spawn in this area here, if I add the spawns, whoops. So if you spawn in any of these, I'll just take this out. These yellow areas, you'll have to extract over here. And if you spawn in here, you'll have to extract over here. But what I find in this map is there's not a huge amount of traffic to it early on. Most people go to Ground Zero and then they start on Custom because that's when the next, typically that's where the next section of tasks are located. But what I do is I go in to Interchange and then go into the car park level, which is the underground. I don't even bother going up that often into the mall level, the level 1. And there's lots of, and I do quest related here. There's lots of little, these are all tasks, but there's lots of boxes. And can I increase this size at all? Yeah. So this is basically the mall level, showing you what items are here, and they're all over the place. But there's lots of places here where you can pick up stuff. And the main thing I pick up from this map earlier on are guns. So there's a lot of gun areas. So over here is a power plant, but like there's a gun box here and a gun box over here and a gun box out here, right here, and there's a gun box here and a gun box here. So there's lots of places you can pick up guns on this map, and that's why I tend to run Interchange a lot right off the start. Now you can find Celoas here. In this area, there's a couple of tents, and it's not showing me the tents that well. No, it's over here. So these two tents here, this one here has med items, so you can often find Celoas, but I just find coming here and farming this area off the front, you'll occasionally run into people, but unless everybody watches this video and decides they're going to do what I'm doing, it's relatively safe to run this area. Now, relatively safe. You do get scavs if you need scav kills in these two areas. So, um, yeah, that's Interchange is one of my favorite ones to do. Other people have their other uh, maps that they like to run on. But basically, once you get done ground zero, you have sort of had no choice with ground zero to complete that. Then I move off into another map, and customs tends to be fairly busy early on, so I avoid customs. I will go to any of the other maps, reserve, lighthouse. I mean, if you went to labs, there won't be a lot of players on labs, even though labs has a huge amount of valuable stuff, uh, because you need a white card key to get in there. You don't often get too many people doing labs. So what you're trying to do is stay away from the other players if possible until you start building up your resources. What you should try to do is get your level up to level 15 as soon as you can, possibly. And the best way to do that is with tasks, but you want to get your level up to 15 as soon as possible, because that allows you to access the flea market, and this is how you can this is how people get progress fast in the game, and they access the flea market, and then they get access to the better bullets, and that's what they start doing. They start buying the better bullets immediately, which, so here's the M855 I was talking about. Yeah, it's available from Peacekeeper now, but as soon as you can buy it off the flea, you'll see it listed here. It'll be very expensive, but you can buy the better ammunition. And like here, there's all kinds of this better ammunition. This is M856A1, which is even better than M855. Notice that how expensive it is. Like for every bullet, it's 14,000 rubles. That's because we're in the last days of the wipe, and it's hard to get ammunition, so people are charging a premium. You'll find once we get to patch 16, it won't be as bad. It'll still be very expensive per bullet, but yeah, that's something you want to do, is you want to get to 15 as soon as possible to allow access to the flea, because it'll help you out immensely in moving forward. The other thing I do is if I come in and I run into a scav, I always, if possible, I always take the magazine off his gun, because scavs can actually, their guns will have poor durability, so they often are not very good to use because they'll jam very quickly. But their mags will have bullets, and because bullets are such a premium, I always pull the mag, and if I get a chance, I will unload it. So that's something that I do. Um, Early on, pretty much if I run scav runs or something like that, early on, you're going to find in the wipe that the load times for this type of scav run is going to be incredibly long. It's just the way it is early on. Everybody wants to do scavs to pick up stuff, because as a scav, you can play as a PMC and you have to supply the gear, or you can play as a scav and the game supplies the gear. And if you live, you can get out with whatever you can pick up during the game, um, and whatever. So I will go in and scav a lot in level like right at early wipe days, especially day one if I can get in. But I've always found on day one that scav waiting times are horrible. It takes a long time. It can take up to 15 minutes to get into a scav raid, which is a lot too long to be sitting around doing nothing, waiting to get in there. But what I'll do is, like I said, is when I get into the game, I will, if I kill a scav or if I find a dead scav on the ground that has magazines, I will always take the magazines because they have the potential for early on the ammunition in the magazines isn't the greatest, but it might actually be better than what you can buy from any trader. Um, but sometimes sometimes you can find uh, really good ammo on the scavs. If you happen to be able to knock down one of the raiders on some of the other maps or the bosses and their guards, they typically have better ammunition. And of course, if you are able to kill a player, they often come in with far better ammunition than what you can buy in the game. So I always grab the mags off bodies. And if I have to, I'll go hide in a bush or something and unpack the mag, take the bullets out of the mags. Like if it's not for, the mag won't work on the gun I'm currently carrying, and I don't have a lot of space. So here we have, so I got 3 mags here, and if I unload it, that's PBP is really high-end ammunition for a 9mm gun like this. So I will definitely take this ammunition out. So here's for an example. Here's a body. He's got a mag, so I go unload. I'm going to take his mag. And he's got mags here. So even if I don't want his gun, I will take everything off him. I will take his gun. But I'll take his mags so that at some point I can dump or take the bullets, hopefully, out of his gun. Actually, I'll look for everything that he might have that I might use. So again, here's another body. There's a pistol. This was a player. So there's a tag. So that's one of the things you want to keep is tags, because there's tasks that require tags. This guy was level 63. Nice. But I'll pick up first aid items. I'll pick up food items, and that's how I'll start the game. Tell you, if he was level 63, he's probably a good player. Surprised he got killed. But anyways, you need to find sort of all the goodies on the map. So like I was saying, right now everybody's running with such good gear, it's not good to be caught in the open. So what I'll do is on Interchange, I'll immediately get in here into the underground. So that's the entrance into the mall. And I'll start going around and picking up stuff. So here, for example, there's a gun box. Can I find a gun? And there's a place like that, which often has food. And here has often got gun parts. So there's just a route that I get in here. Yeah, you can get scavs over there. But I don't often run into too many players. I have run into players before. There's a gun box here. Now, one of the other things to do early on is you'll notice that there was a little message there that I got points for opening an item, and then if you pull it into your stash and then put it back, or just drop it, you get looting XP. So that's one of the things you want to do early on to boost your XP. So here's a box. So if I open it, once it draws in the characters, searching experience. So now I'm getting searching experience just for looking at it. Then I take it from here and drop it into there. Looting experience. So even if I'm not going to keep the items, I will drag them into my stash early on because I want the XP of doing that. So then just right click and discard and get rid of it. That's early on. That's how you get some XP points, by searching XP points and then looting XP points. So I come in and I hit this entire area looking for goodies. So that site is worth money. So also early on, I'm looking for, you want money. You want to build up your money as quickly as possible. Put that there. I don't need this. So there are items that are worth quite a bit of money, like scopes are worth quite a bit of money. Silencers are worth quite a bit of money. So you want to connect them. There's an example. There's some bullets, so I'm going to keep the bullets because I might not have a gun. I don't have a gun right now that will use them, but I can either sell them once I have access to the flea market for a lot of money, or I can I will eventually get a gun that will be able to use them. So I want this. Okay. Okay, over here. And I'll just show you a quick run that I do in the underground, but notice how many gun boxes I've encountered. So on this table you can get stuff, you can get med stuffs here, especially the Soloas. I don't have any space. There's grenade boxes here, you can get some grenades, potentially, that you can throw. It's always important to have grenades with you to try to get kills with grenades. Anyways, I'm going to do this, switch that. That'll put more space back in here. You can find guns here. And then here is stuff on the table. You never know what parts will do, so I always try to come out of the game with a full backpack. I always take a backpack unless I'm just trying to complete a task. Here's another place where there's a gun box. But yeah, grab as many things as you can. Look for ammunition, bullets in different places, and make sure you take them out. So there's often bullets on the floor here. There's often a gun box here. And because you can't buy good ammunition, there's usually a bag, gym bag there. But because you can't buy good ammunition early on, then I pick up every single ammunition box that I can get my hands on. There's usually something here. Another gun box. Oh, that's good. It helps to get to know what's good and what's not in the game, so that you don't waste space picking up garbage stuff. You'll get to know. But so there's a grenade box there. You can find food over here. Food is important. There's often a bag there, but this is just the area I come early on to grab as much goodies as I can. And when you're doing a scav run, both the railway and Emercom exits are open to you. So I'm just going to unload to make more space. But that's what I'm doing here to get my what am I doing? Grab as many bullets as possible. Grab something like that. The Tashanka tins are important early on, so make sure you keep all those in there. So I got that done, and I'll try to get out here without getting shot. But I've got a full backpack. I've got every space on my person full of something, because you need money early on, so you want to always leave a raid with every space that you got full. So here's just straight ammunition. I would normally pick it up, but this late in the game I don't need. Those aren't good ammos, but they're better than some stuff I could buy at level 1 traders, so I would have picked them up. But again, we're near the end, so I don't care so much about it. Right now, if you get to a certain level, all I'm really doing is I would be just picking up stuff to sell. So it's important to get as much money as in this game as possible, especially if you get level 15 and get the traders open, because you can buy, level 15 is the key to the games, because you can buy stuff to complete tasks, you can buy stuff to upgrade your hideout, you can buy things to make your guns better, all via the flea market. So you want to be able to get it open, and you require level 15 of your character to be able to get to the flea market. So get your character up to level 15 as soon as possible, okay? And then start, there's stuff here, there's an all that's important. But you want to try to accumulate as much money as possible. So if you don't need something, sell it. There is a tendency to hold on, like every good gun you find, you want to keep it. You don't often need to do that. I can usually find enough guns that I don't have to keep every single gun that I get. So here, like, I take the mags out of the raid, come back, and I got a bunch of these, and those are high-end 9mm stuff. So if I were to find these mags in a game, I would feel pretty good, because these, I mean, just look at them. They're penetration of 39 and damage of 44, so that's damn good ammunition. And then you want to keep every dog tag you find, because even if you come across a body somebody else is killed but there's a dog tag on it, take it, because there's a lot of tasks that require tags. So you want to get every tag you can possibly do. Grenades, first aid stuff you want to keep, and then weapons parts is the other things that you want to keep. Okay, so I'll sell the rest. And that's what you can do when you can make money by selling what you can't move over to the fence. But that's it. That's kind of really brief what I'll be doing tomorrow first when I get time, if I can get access to the game with everybody else trying to. But that's it for what to do on day 1. Okay.